Hey everyone, this is David Vancouvering. I wanted to talk to you about the importance of clear, testable acceptance criteria. So I think many of you have probably experienced that you take a story on, you start working on it, and you realize you don't know actually what it is that's wanted. Now you have to go back and ask for more details, and then you may find out something that totally surprises you, and your whole understanding and estimate of how much work it's going to take is completely changed. Or you think you know what you're supposed to build and you build it, and then product keeps asking for changes, saying that's not really what I wanted. And you find yourself spending a lot of time doing a lot of rework. So acceptance criteria can really help with this. We talk a lot about how it's really important to write tests first. And the first test you can write is before you even write any code, and that is to get these acceptance criteria written down and have a back and forth conversation with your product owner on these acceptance criteria. Some people believe that these criteria should be written and handed off to the developer by the product. I think it's much better where this is a conversation that happens as part of backlog grooming. So I wanted to show you really quick what an acceptance criteria would look like, and then you can follow this model for when you are working on stories with your product person. So here you can see we have a very simple story about logging in to a website. You may think that the story on top is good enough. It's pretty clear what you want to be able to do. But what you really need to have for a good acceptance criteria to get to the level that you need to make sure everyone understands each other is you want criteria that are more formally defined and can actually be fairly easily turned into automated tests. So at the level of, I know how to write a test for this. Usually it's one or more scenarios for a given story. Here's a scenario for valid credentials. You can imagine there's a scenario for invalid credentials as well. So in this scenario, the system user signs in with valid credentials. So you structure your acceptance criteria into 3 stages: your preconditions, your action, and then your outcome. The preconditions are stated using the word given. And here, given I'm a logged out user and I'm on the sign in page, that makes sure we're all understanding the situation before we even get started. And then when describes the action. Here it's when I fill in the username and password fields with my authentication credentials and I click the sign in button. And then describes the expected outcome. Here it says, then I'm given access to the website. And so now everyone understands in very nice detail and a testable detail what the expectation is, and it reduces significantly the amount of misunderstanding or miscommunication that can happen and gives you a lot more confidence that you can write the story with the right outcome. And also, when you're doing TDD, this gives you direct ability to start writing your acceptance tests, your automated acceptance tests for the story before you even write the code. And some of you may know about this tool called Cucumber, which actually allows you to automate this process of translating acceptance criteria into executable tests. So there you have it. Clear acceptance criteria, helping you have a better understanding with what's expected, have good communication with your product owner, and bootstrap writing automated acceptance tests.